My name is Melinda. A little bit about myself and a little bit why I'm doing this journey or doing this video series. I learned I had to start eating gluten-free about 2.5 years ago. At the time, I loved baking. I loved making cakes and cookies and all kinds of pastries and everything, and just really enjoyed it. As it always happens, there's a little bit of grief when you realize you can't eat your favorite foods anymore. And so I haven't cooked, I haven't baked, I haven't made the things I love. And I realized part of it is because I'm a little bit scared to work with gluten-free flour and gluten-free stuff. And so I thought I'm probably not alone in that regard. And so this set of videos, this series of videos, is my attempt to teach myself how to bake again using gluten-free material to the best of my ability. And then hopefully that will give you the courage to do it as well. So today I'm gonna make something called cake mix cookies. And the reason I'm choosing this recipe is because it's really simple. It's really easy, and I just want to see how it turns out, because hopefully it'll be good. And you know, small steps. Have a good thing that's easy, go on to a little bit different thing that's not so easy. So this is cake mix cookies, and you basically take a box mix cake and you make it into cookies. It's really simple. And yes, there are gluten-free cake mixes. So today I'm going to be trying the King Arthur gluten-free chocolate cake mix. And I'm going to be adding some mini M&Ms and some milk chocolate chips. So now bear with me. I'm still learning how to operate all the things. So I'm going to work. I got to turn this down so that you can see the bowl. Ta-da! The bowl. Oh, I forgot something. I forgot my mixing stick. Okay, so it's one box of cake mix. I can talk, I promise. And I really like King Arthur's, I'm impressed with King Arthur's stuff. They tend to have the best mixes, pre-made mixes. At least from what I've learned so far. So you just empty it into the bowl. Ooh. Okay, and then the recipe calls for canola oil. I don't have canola oil, I have vegetable oil, and I've already pre-measured it, 1/3 of a cup, and then 2 eggs. And so when I'm doing something like this, what I like to do is I like to put the eggs in with the oil and then mix that together so that it'll blend better here. Come on, I cracked it too much. Whew. It also does help if your eggs are room temperature. These have been sitting out for about 20 minutes. Or at least it used to. I'm assuming it's still the case. Handy dandy fork. Just mix these up together. So I don't know if you can see, it's kind of got a, I'm gonna just make it sure it's all mixed together. Okay. Put that on that paper towel. Make myself a little hole. Hello, Chessie. The kitty cat is by my feet. Okay, so the one thing I'm not certain about is that I know that gluten-free flours need like extra time to set and soak up all the liquid stuff. So they may need a little bit, I don't remember if they need a little bit extra liquid or not. So we're just gonna see. Ooh, I just had a thought. Oh, I just realized there might be a problem. So, okay, I actually have 2 boxes. I have King Arthur's chocolate, gluten-free chocolate, and Baker's Corner keto-friendly yellow cake mix. So this feels like a regular box of Betty Crocker. This is 10 ounces. This is 22 ounces. See, this is what I mean by have been nervous to make anything gluten-free like I used to, because, okay, that obviously is not gonna be a good cookie dough texture. It's close, but it needs a little more, it needs a little bit more liquid to hold that together. So, something we did the other day, we added an extra egg. Let's see if that does the same thing. We made gluten-free sugar cookies. And my daughter counted out like extra flour or something. I don't know. They were really dry and really crumbly, and they weren't working very well. And so I did some research, and the extra egg helped. Let's see if it will help with this, or if we need to add more oil. I guess we're experimenting today. Woohoo! Oh, pardon the dogs. They like to bark at everything. Well, we're getting there, but we're still not there. Okay, I'm gonna pretend that it was basically 2 cake mixes, and we're gonna add another 1/3 of a cup of oil. And the recipe is for 2 eggs. We've already added 1 extra egg. Let's add another extra egg. Whoops, hello. I mean, cooking in itself is always an experiment, right? Cooking gluten-free is just adding extra elements to your experiment. Okay, so let me tell you the story about these cookies. In 2016, yep, 2016, I was part of a Renaissance festival, and one of the characters, a group of the characters was called the Bakers, the baker and his sister, and they had flour fights, and they made cookies for the cast, right? And I asked him one time, you know, aside, I said, how do you do this? How do you make these wonderful cookies taste so good? He goes, oh, they're cake mix cookies. I went, what? He gave me the recipe. My character was a princess, if you can believe it, the singing Princess of Poland. And we joked that because he wasn't going to participate the next year, that the chef, the baker, ran away, that I enticed them to come back to Poland and work for my father, the king. So, Renaissance festivals are so much fun. My character was actually based on a historical person, and digging into the research on her was probably one of the most interesting parts of working with that group. Okay, so see, that looks better. It's not a cake mix. It doesn't look like cake batter. It looks like cookie batter, right? This looks better. I think I just needed to add double. Okay, so now I'm going to add I'm gonna wipe up all the egg stuff because I don't want to get egg stuff all over myself and all over the counter and all over everything. Aha, the oven is ready. But yeah, that season was a blast. It was a lot of fun. Come on, work. We'll get the better scissors. Here we go. Okay. So my goal is to add enough to fill this cup. So we're gonna add the M&Ms. Not even a full cup. Now I'm gonna take the milk chocolate chips. I don't really like semi-sweet. I don't know why. I'm gonna take the milk chocolate chips and add those to the top. And we get a cup. Okay, and then dump them in. Stir those up, make sure they get in there. Oh, had an escapee. Just that gives it a little bit more crunch. So my friend, the baker, he my favorite one that he made was caramel apple. And it's available in the fall, which is when our fair is. And from the cake mix is available in the fall. And then I added, you know the wrapped caramels that come in a square, but then they've also got like little bitty bits. I added those as well. They're just so stinking good. But now I can't have them because that's a gluten bake mix, cake mix. All right, looks like we're pretty good and incorporated. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside. And I'm gonna pull over my baking sheets. I like to use the parchment paper, the pre-cut parchment paper. It just makes it a lot easier on cleanup. I also need to double check my oven temperature real fast. So it's supposed to bake at 350 for 8 minutes, and it is at it's like at 370, which is not bad because it's usually the other way. So even baking, use a scoop. Cookie scoops are wonderful. And these will spread out, but they'll also be really fluffy too. But yeah, I had to go gluten-free about 2 years ago, and then within the past 2 months, maybe 3 months, we've decided that my daughter probably, my youngest probably needs to be gluten-free as well. And so the desire to cook more things has really taken up residence again. Like I said, I'm new to this whole video thing, so I apologize if I'm not very good at it. Okay, and you know what the hardest part about not being able to make things is because, you know, you can always, I love doing this, you know, put it, gum. You can't do that with a regular box mix. So then this will go in the oven for 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. Keep an eye on it, cut so that it doesn't burn. And yeah, then you've got cookies. Okay, they are done, sort of. I don't know if you can see how beautiful those are. So I'm gonna set these on the cookie rack behind me. Oops, to cool off. And then I'm gonna work on the yellow cake mix. I wanted to show you kind of something. I don't know if you can see. This is made with almond flour. The chocolate cake mix is made with rice flour and tapioca starch. This one's made with almond flour, and it's kind of different. I don't know if this is gonna work, but we're gonna try it. That's the whole point of this video, is to try things and see what works and what doesn't, and maybe come up with some good results. So yeah, this one is yellow cake mix, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I let these sit and rest. I let these sit and rest a bit because they did not seem like they had enough liquid. It just seemed like it was going to be better overall for these. And you know how you kind of taste it sometimes in the process of making the things. Yeah, I'm not holding out much hope for these because it feels really gritty. I'm not very happy with them so far. We're gonna see, obviously, but that's all, you know, that's the point, right? To get back to baking and trying things and making cookies. You'll find that with a lot of gluten-free flours. Sometimes they just have a gritty texture, gritty feel. You have to find what works for you. Personally, I found that I like rice flour a lot better, but the almond flour is just, it's not my favorite. I didn't realize that it had almond flour. So this is going to be an interesting taste test, right? Who knows? Maybe if nothing else, it'll be good with ice cream or milk. I don't know. I don't know anymore. It's fun. It's fun to be gluten-free and try things, right? Because if you're wrong, you're very, very, very wrong. When you hit a home run, you do really good. But that tapioca almond flour versus the rice flour, that's one of the reasons I like King Arthur's, just because it has the rice flour. And as you can see, hold on. Oh, I'm not gonna lick that finger like I would normally, because I don't think I can handle more of the grittiness. But as you can see, the rice flour has basically soaked up all of the liquid with it. And it's, I don't know, can you see the shininess of the doughs? This one's really, really shiny. Now that may be because it has more oil, but I don't know. It's definitely a learning experience. So I will come back in 8 to 10 minutes and tell you what we've discovered. All right, let's try this again. Apologies. I just realized my microphone was probably off for the last couple of segments, but so time for taste test. I've got the 2 different varieties here on my beautiful little Among Us plate. We got the chocolate chip, or the chocolate cake, and the yellow cake, and we're gonna see. So this one is really, really moist, really almost crumbly, and let's just hold this down just a little. Yeah, it's really good. And then this one is, I mean, not as bendy, for lack of better words. Woo! One of these days I might actually figure out what I'm doing. All right, so first I'm gonna try the chocolate one. Yeah, not bad. A little bit of chew, Edges are a little crunchy. Not a bad cookie. Okay, now for the yellow cake. Okay. I'll be honest, all I'm tasting are the chocolate chips. Maybe I put too many in. That grittiness that I was worried about is not there. But these are not, wait a minute, I take that back. They're okay, they're not my first choice. I like the chocolate ones. Anyway, that's how you make cake mix cookies. Hope you enjoy.